Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. Today's topic, traditional indicators, trust and trade, or fear and steer clear. And this is an important topic. So today's indicator, MACD. Is it a friend of the trend or is it a portfolio foe? And the easiest way to delve into that is to actually look at what makes up the MACD indicator. So for that, we go to our easy language actual programming, and you can see here we have the inputs for a fast length, slow length, and those are the different moving averages that are used for MACD. In the variable category, you have where we're going to put the values for each of those. And when it comes to MACD, there's a function. And if we right-click on TradeStation and actually click the definition, it will take us to an actual definition of that function and how it multiplies those various moving averages within that function. And it can be very helpful, so it's always worthwhile just right-click any highlighted names. But going back to our program, we look and see here that the MACD diff is going to take the regular MACD moving average and subtract from the other. And if you're above zero, then you're going to have a crossover, effectively. And so it uses current bar greater than 2, meaning you're not getting an immediate crossover because the chart started. And then we're going to be looking for our MACD buy entry at 1,000 shares, and then a sell entry at the same amount if it crosses the other direction. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. And then down below, we're going to do exactly the same thing, but on the short side. And it's interesting because every day I go through StockTwits, and you may find me on there, but I scroll down and there's chart after chart after chart. And what are some of the more typical indicators on charts? Well, I can tell you that MACD happens to be one of the primary ones. And so it's worth noting, is this an effective indicator? I mean, I'll scroll through a few charts here. We're going to see them. I just picked these at random. It's not to criticize any of them. It's just to point out that variety of different styles, but they're all MACD, and they've got the little crossover histogram. Some have extra lines. Some put more than one on there. And that's all fine. And so here's a regular chart that has MACD and also has that MACD gradient. I'm not sure what that's supposed to do, but okay. So I put it into old indicator for our actual indicator, then voila, you can see that it's actually made some trades. And so we can kind of look back and say, okay, is it saying MACD long entry and MACD exit? And yes, in fact, we can see that those names do exist on there. And we'll scroll back here, kind of take a look and see, looks like it's made some fairly decent trades overall. So this is both going long and short based on those crossovers of the lines. So, well, that seems perfect. So our next step then, of course, is to see what our time frame on this chart is. And it goes back to the end of 2004. So that's 7+ years. That's a good amount of time. So let's go ahead and look at a performance report. And boy, the wheels just fell off the bus here. That's horrible. And this is your annual return on this setup. This was supposed to be a fantastic indicator. Okay, a minus nearly 50,000 on your equity graph. That's an acceptable drawdown. Why is this so popular in everyone's chart when you're looking at this adverse excursion? It's got to be the time frame. That's what it must be. So maybe what we should do is move ourselves to a lighter time frame. I'm checking the windows here. Those all match. So there's got to be something. So here's a 60-minute chart. So let's take a look at that, see if we can get a better result. Well, slightly profitable, but still, gosh, that's horrible as far as win rate. Nothing really looks particularly appealing about this. And that's that RNIA index. That really is what you use to compare other trading systems with. This year's been okay, but it's been a hugely trending year. We should have done better than that. Oh, and that's an awful equity graph. That's just painful. I don't know how else to put it. And look at that for your drawdown percentages. Not attractive at all. So let's try 15-minute. Maybe it gets better as we go because a lot of people use this for intraday trading. So I'm looking at it. We've got lots of various trades going up and down. So, okay, it's functioning. That's the most important thing. Let's look at our report. Wow, that's still awful as far as the percentage goes. That's not going to get you anywhere. You look at that RNIA index, you're negative almost 450. That is going to be one of the worst systems I've seen in some time from an intraday standpoint. It's a pure money loser every year, and that equity graph pretty much depicts it very clearly, as well as your adverse excursion. 4 or 5% the drawdown in that, but from an intraday, that'll kill you. So a 5-minute chart. Now maybe we get some redemption real quick here, and I'm showing all these just so it's very clear. You can see that they're just all money losers, and there's just nothing redeemable about them, and yet this is one of the most popular indicators. But here you have the statistics. These aren't made up. This is the actual MACD, the program. This is what you would be losing on a yearly basis. This is what your equity curves would look like. And sure, I get a lot of people to say, oh yeah, but I wouldn't do it with just this and that. Well, but this is the indicator, and you have to rely on this. So what would our indicator do? All right, same chart, same time frame, and just utilizing our fractal setups. And that's what a chart should look like. And this is much better as far as our largest consecutive wins, profit and loss from an annualized basis. Much better equity graph. And this is the difference between a standard indicator and some of these older ones that everyone seemed to think. And so, it comes back to our question on MACD. Portfolio friend or foe? I think the answer is pretty darn clear. If you're going to have MACD in your portfolio, it is a portfolio killer. You have to stay clear of this one, and the numbers prove it. So hopefully you found that interesting, and always look for us on StockTwits, Twitter. Trade well.